Hello everyone, I'm Heather. Thank you for taking the time today to watch this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please take a moment and be sure to subscribe. There are so many different great restaurants at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, not only at the theme park, but also at Disney Springs and at all of the resort hotels. There's so many restaurants, I can't even imagine ever going to them all or trying them all. And there's definitely a lot of restaurants that I haven't yet tried that I want to. We have really been missing Disney lately. Our last visit to Walt Disney World was almost 2 years ago now. It was in March of 2019. And it's pretty unlikely that we will be visiting any Disney destination during the pandemic. The only way I can see that happening is if all 3 of us or 4 of us, depending on who goes, can get vaccinated. One of the things that we're really missing about Disney is the food. And so in today's video, I want to share with you my favorite restaurants at each of the 4 Walt Disney World theme parks. Okay, for the purposes of this video, I'm limiting myself to the 4 theme parks at Walt Disney World: Magic Kingdom, EPCOT, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. And I'm going to, with great difficulty, force myself to choose 1 table service restaurant and 1 counter service restaurant. This was hard for me, but I'm gonna stick to it, okay? I am purposely not including character dining experiences in this video because currently during the pandemic, most character dining locations at Walt Disney World are either closed, or if they are offering characters at this time, it's not the same experience that it was before. It remains to be seen if they're going to keep things this way or if they're going to go back to character dining the way it was before the pandemic, after the pandemic is over. So we're not sure about that. So I'm going to leave character dining out of this video for now. I'm going to tell you my favorite table service restaurant and my favorite counter service restaurant of the ones that I have tried myself, because there are some I haven't tried, for each of the 4 theme parks. And then when I'm done doing that, I'm going to do a little interview with Megan and Ben and see if they can remember. They're really bad at remembering the names of places, but they might remember something about the experience. And I just want to talk to them and see what they say about their favorite restaurants at Walt Disney World. And so stay to the end of the video if you want to be sure to see what they say. Okay, first up, Magic Kingdom. My favorite table service restaurant at Magic Kingdom is Liberty Tree Tavern. If you're not familiar with Liberty Tree Tavern, I'm going to link a video of our review of it on our last visit, and I apologize in advance. The whole part of the video that I thought I was recording when like our main entrees came, I apparently was not recording. So you miss seeing our food, but we describe it and talk about it at the end of that video. Liberty Tree Tavern is located on Liberty Square, sort of near between the Haunted Mansion and the Liberty Bell paddle wheel boat, and you're getting toward Frontierland. It's a colonial themed restaurant. They used to have characters there a long time ago dressed in colonial outfits, but they stopped doing that some years ago. The food there is traditional American food, and the one thing that they do they're very famous for is they do a traditional like Thanksgiving feast with turkey and potatoes and stuffing and cranberries and all that. And you can get that basically all the time. And they kind of switch it up now and then, like they do an a la carte lunch and then like a family style dinner. For the most part, it's going to be that hearty food. And the food there is always so good. I think the atmosphere is cool. I just really love Liberty Tree Tavern. So that's my favorite table service restaurant at Magic Kingdom. I had a little trouble picking my favorite counter service restaurant. I'm going to do a little aside here, asterisk. I would say that my favorite counter service restaurant is Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest is normally a counter service restaurant at breakfast and lunch. And if I had to pick in normal times my favorite counter service restaurant at Magic Kingdom, I would say Be Our Guest for lunch. We ate there for lunch on our last visit, and I will put that video right up here. However, right now, Be Our Guest is not doing counter service for breakfast or lunch, and I don't know if that's a permanent change or not. So I'm not going to pick that one for this video. So instead, I'm going to say my favorite counter service restaurant in Magic Kingdom is Columbia Harbor House. Now, unfortunately, during the pandemic right now, Columbia Harbor House is currently closed. And I understand why. They're using part of Columbia Harbor House's stuff for an extended queue, I think for It's a Small World maybe. And also where you order inside Columbia Harbor House is quite small and closed. So I can understand it for that reason. But they are currently offering, at the time I'm filming this video, they're currently offering some of the food from Columbia Harbor House at Cosmic Rays or Tomorrowland Terrace, one of those in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. So if you really want the food, you can get it there. But I like Columbia Harbor House, which strangely is also very close to Liberty Tree Tavern. It's like right across the walkway, very close to the Haunted Mansion. I like the food there because it offers a really neat and yummy variety of food for a counter service restaurant. Some unusual things that you wouldn't normally see. It's not the typical burgers and pizza. And also I love the atmosphere. It's just such a neat building. You have to go upstairs. So many people don't realize the downstairs dining area is pretty small and people will crowd in there and that'll be very crowded, or they'll go outside and there's some tables outside and they don't realize that there's a whole upstairs and it's huge and it's so cute. And the last time we were there, we ate upstairs right by the window and got to look out over the rivers of America, and it was just great. So Columbia Harbor House is my favorite counter service restaurant at Magic Kingdom. Okay, let's move on to EPCOT. EPCOT is a tough one for two reasons. One, I have not, and this is my own fault, tried anywhere near enough of the table service restaurants in EPCOT. I think I've only eaten at like 2 or 3 of them, which is a real shame because there's so many different restaurants in EPCOT from the different countries around the world in World Showcase. But I'm going to say for right now that my favorite table service restaurant in EPCOT of the limited number that I've experienced is Chefs de France in the France Pavilion. I will put our video about that and the time we ate there right here. And then for counter service restaurants, I have kind of an unusual pick. My favorite counter service restaurant in EPCOT is Sunshine Seasons, which is in the Land Pavilion in what is currently Future World. That's kind of an unusual pick because it's actually more of like a food court. But I really like the food at Sunshine Seasons. They have a wonderful wide variety of food and the food there is really good. And they often have some really cool specialty desserts and stuff at Sunshine Seasons. So that's going to be my pick for my favorite counter service restaurant at EPCOT. Okay, Hollywood Studios, I again have kind of an unusual choice. In the past, I would have said that my favorite table service restaurant was 50's Primetime Cafe, but our experience there on our last trip was not very positive at all. We weren't real thrilled with the show portion of it and was really kind of painfully uncomfortable for my kids, especially Megan, and we weren't terribly thrilled with the food either. So instead, I'm going to say that my favorite table service restaurant at Hollywood Studios is Mama Melrose's, which is an Italian restaurant kind of tucked way back in what used to be Muppet Courtyard. We didn't go there on our last trip. We went there on the trip the time before and we had a really positive experience. Great service, delicious food. Really enjoyed it. So that's going to be my favorite table service restaurant in Hollywood Studios as of right now. And then my favorite counter service restaurant is one of the newest restaurants at Walt Disney World, and that's Woody's Lunchbox. And if I have enough room, I will put a link to our Woody's Lunchbox experience right up there. It's just so cute and colorful, and I love the way it is. And I liked the food there. Woody's Lunchbox is also one of the very few outdoor dining places in Walt Disney World, which is especially important for some people right now during the pandemic. Okay, and lastly, let's talk about Animal Kingdom. This one was easy for me. My favorite table service restaurant at Animal Kingdom is Yak and Yeti. I loved Yak and Yeti. It was so good. And I'm going to put a link to our, if I have enough room, I will put a link to our Yak and Yeti experience right up here. The food was great. The restaurant atmosphere was cool. We got a nice table by the window. Loved Yak and Yeti. I love that type of food. And then my favorite counter service restaurant at Animal Kingdom, which again is a fairly new restaurant to Walt Disney World, is Satu'li Canteen in Pandora at Animal Kingdom. And if I can't fit it up here, I'll try to link that video at the end. Or I might link just the whole playlist from our last Walt Disney World trip so you can see all of these restaurant reviews. I made a video about every place that we ate last time we went to Walt Disney World, so you can watch all of those at your leisure. What are your favorite restaurants at Walt Disney World? Leave them in the comments below. And if there's a restaurant that you think I definitely should try, leave that in the comments below because there's a good chance I haven't tried it yet and maybe I will try it on my next visit. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
Quick one-question interview. Do you remember any of your favorite restaurants at Walt Disney World?
Well, I do like that one where it spins.
Garden Grill.
Yeah.
So Ben is referring to Garden Grill, which is a character dining experience in the Land Pavilion at EPCOT. Okay.
There's other character meals that I like there.
Crystal Palace, maybe?
Yeah, Crystal Palace.
Where the
and the castle one.
In the castle.
Yeah, in the castle.
Or Akershus with the princesses?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so he likes Akershus with the
Or-
princesses.
What's the Beauty and the Beast one?
Oh, Be Our Guest.
Yeah, that one. That
Yes.
one's my,
You like that one a lot.
Except
Okay.
when last time my pollen allergies got to me and I didn't have a great time.
Yeah, I know. We're definitely avoiding spring at Disney World in the future.
Any park in general.
Anything.
Anything outside.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Ben is allergic to all plant life.
Yes.
Okay, so Be Our Guest, which is at Magic Kingdom, and Garden Grill, which is at Epcot, and Crystal Palace, which is at Magic Kingdom, which is a character dining experience with the Pooh characters. It's normally a buffet, but currently during the pandemic, it's a family-style meal. Anything else?
No, that's all I can think of.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Ben. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
Quick one-question interview. Do you remember any of your favorite restaurants at Walt Disney World?
I like certain restaurants for certain foods they have.
Okay.
Like I like Crystal Palace for their Mickey waffles.
Aha.
And I like Be Our Guest for their French onion soup.
Oh, yes.
But like that's pretty much it from those specific restaurants.
Okay.
And I can't really think of many of the restaurants right now.
Do any other restaurants stick out in your head, like for atmosphere?
The only other thing coming to my mind is the food court in the
Sunshine Seasons.
Yeah, Sunshine
Yes,
Seasons.
I mentioned that too.
I like Sunshine Seasons.
Yep, I do too. Okay, those are great. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Megan. Thank you so much for watching this video today, folks. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and give me a thumbs up down below if you liked this video. Safe travels!